What's up, people? I'm Shaggy, the opinionated hippie, and this is part 44 of my reviewing Frank Zappa's guitar solos within the context of the albums on which they appear. So I'm going to talk about number 44, which is Cruising with Ruben and the Jets, an album Frank released way back in the 60s, back in 1968. This is his sort of love letter to doo-wop music and sort of that sort of 50s sort of rock and roll type, just teenagers and cars and love and stuff like that type music. I'm going to discuss the one solo that's on this album, show where that one solo ranks among the other 43 I've already done, and that's it. I'm doing every album, and then when I'm done with all the albums that have solos, I will do a single video in which I just mention all the albums that don't have solos. I'm going to address everything at some point in time. But anyways, one solo on here. It's on the last song, and it's probably on one of the darkest songs on here, the closing Stuff Up the Cracks, which there's not stuff up the cracks. He's going to stuff up the cracks so he can seal off a space and maybe end his existence if somebody breaks up with him. It's not a particularly upbeat song. It might be a love letter to sort of ending one's life because of romantic heartache. But it has a guitar solo on it. It has a fantastic guitar solo on it. It's a pretty dark song. We've gone through this entire album. This is song number 13 of just some really good doo-wop numbers. Love of My Life, great arrangement of How Could I Be Such a Fool, the drop-dead, gorgeous vocal performance, one of the best things Ray Collins has done, one of the best things I think Collins wrote this song. The song Anything, absolute gem. You Didn't Try to Call Me is on here. No, No, No. Jelly Roll Gumdrop, silly little number. Some good stuff on here. But it's just all the songs. The longest song is I'm Not Satisfied at 4:03, which kind of feels a little long for I'm Not Satisfied. 74 Bandit at best, nice and short, like 2 minutes. And then you get this song at the end, which is, again, the content is not the most uplifting thing, Stuff Up the Cracks. And it's a little bit more of a, it fits right in with doo-wop music, but then as we get towards the end, we just all of a sudden, this guitar just comes in, and it's Frank Zappa, full Frank Zappa, late 60s sort of mode. Kind of feels like something that could have fit maybe right in there on like Burnt Weenie Sandwich, or maybe a much more sort of, if that acoustic guitar on 9 Types of Industrial Pollution was like an electric, maybe that's the kind of vibe it just feels like it's functioning in, but it's not. It's soloing over the sort of ends of this sort of 50s doo-wop song, depressing 50s doo-wop song, but it works fantastically. And it almost like, I like this album. I don't absolutely love it. I'm not like a diehard Cruising with Ruben and the Jets fan, but I enjoy the songs. And it's not until you get to the last song and you get to that solo where you're like, wow, Frank kind of missed the mark on this one. The solo is needed. I think it works. But I really wish that Frank had maybe followed this muse for another album or two and written, like, stayed true to the sort of conventional songwriting formats of like the actual songs, lyrics, structure themselves, but just took some like leeway and dropped him some more guitar solos, middle of the song solos, ending solos, maybe open up with a solo and then drop into this cute little doo-wop section. Like, don't freak out the doo-wop stuff. Like, You Didn't Try to Call Me like 80 version of that. You don't have to do all the weird stuff and get funky with it and let people just show off. Like, stay true to the doo-wop art form, but just drop in some solos. We don't need 13 songs. Give us 10, because what you're making up with that like 9-10 minutes is more jams, more solos, just a little more like not even integrated into the songs, right? Just like, let's just take songs, write them as doo-wop, and just find places to put solos in. And I know Frank could have made it blend, but I think he might have missed an opportunity there, because the stuff up the cracks works so incredibly well. Like the solo itself is good. The playing is good. Everything about Frank's energy is good. it matches sort of the energy of the song and like the feelings of the narrator. But it's also just it's a really, really good solo, but it fits so perfectly well in every aspect of this album. Like if it had been the opening track and then we get a solo and then we don't get any more solos, nah, that's not going to work. Solo's still going to be absolutely fantastic, but it gets extra points for sort of closing out the album. But yeah, I mean, that's all I got. It's one solo. It's obviously going to be number one. But I might have made a top 10 list elsewhere on this channel of my favorite sort of released in Frank Zappa's lifetime solos, and this might have made it on that solo. So that list, just because I really do like it. I think it works really well in it. So anyways, but yeah. Anyways, that's all I got. Where would I rank this among the other ones? It jumps all the way up there to number 33. It's right behind Apostrophe because on that list I just talked about, there's a song on Apostrophe that also made that list, and it might have made that list one notch higher than Stuff Up the Cracks. And there are other things on Apostrophe which there's a couple things that are pretty good that maybe keep it up right at 32. But I do think just the overall vibe of Stuff Up the Cracks might be even better than everything that's on FC Aussie, just because there's some stuff on FC Aussie that weighs down some of the epic moments on that album or that release. But again, to rank it higher than Any Kind of Pain, but then Broadway the Hard Way is a couple things that I don't think quite work. So anyways, yeah, I'm going to put it at number 33, just because it's one solo, that's all it is, but it really, really satisfies and really does the work. But it's definitely not, say, as epic as some of the other stuff that's above there, right? I don't know, really, I don't know. But 33. But at 33, Cruising with Ruben and the Jets, right? Seems fair for a one solo album. I'm sure my system is all wacky, but really it's just coming down to what I feel like doing. And that's what I feel like doing. I feel like putting it at 33. All right, that's all I got. Yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like. Let me know what you think of this one solo. Let me know if you rank it any differently, if you wouldn't even put it in number one because you don't like it, or you just give it its own special category because you love it so much. I don't know. None of that makes sense. But anyways, thanks for watching. That's all I got for today. Peace, all that kind of stuff. Subscribe, like, share, comment, and go listen to Stuff Up the Cracks, people. We'll get to that when we talk about that release. But there's a longer version of Stuff Up the Cracks on another release. But we'll leave that for another day. All right. Talk to you later. Peace.